I think I am live. Hello, hello, Zen friends. Welcome to Saturday night or Sunday morning for those of you, some of you on the other side of the planet. Hope you're having a great weekend. I can't believe it's Saturday evening already. Just flying by, ain't it? Well, before we get started into everything, let us bring in some beautiful love energy from above. We will start by taking a big, deep breath, just coming back to right here, right now in this moment, leaving the future, getting out of the past, out of the chaos of the outside world, coming into the moment right here, right now. And then we'll hit the singing bowl 3 times. And as I'm hitting that, you can just imagine a beautiful love vibration, eternal, unconditional love energy flowing down, filling up your physical body, your energetic body, all of your emotional body, your mental body, just filling up your entire life and then flowing out to the outside world, allowing it to do whatever it wants to do out there to raise the vibration of the planet as well. So we'll do that. Something that we can do to help raise our vibration fast is to focus on gratitude, right? One of the highest vibrating or energies that there is. And so if we think of just one thing to be grateful for in this moment, that immediately starts to raise the vibration and allows us into this energy of receiving and magnetizes us to receive more of what we're grateful for as well. So that's what we're going to do. So if you'd like to join me, I'm going to start out by taking a big, deep breath and just coming back to this moment. So here we go. Big, deep breath. Beautiful. All right, let's begin with the singing bowl. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me in doing that. Oops, let me put her little baton back here first. All right. So, welcome everybody. Hope you are enjoying the energies here. We've got a wonderful, of course, Libra new moon, solar eclipse tomorrow. A couple weeks ago, we had the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces. So, we're right in the middle between the eclipses where the energy is the most expanded. We'll still feel it for a couple weeks. Some of you 4 to 6 to 8 even weeks after tomorrow, depending on, of course, your astrological charts and your where you're at in your spiritual journey. A lot of you are connected to that higher vibration energy, so moons impact you weeks longer than the average person, right? So you might feel that, and that's all right. This is good energy. It's new birth energy with the Virgo new moon. So good time to plant some seeds and to make your new moon wishes tomorrow. So, but we got a lot of energies happening, and I'm so grateful for Libra season coming up because it's balancing energy. So we're ready for some smoothing things out for a little bit of relaxation. At least it helps support it. There's still a lot of energy going on, but at least it helps balance it out, right? So, yay, yay, yay. If you're new to my channel or new to these readings, welcome. Your brudda-zen, and we've got a great group of Zen friends here, which huge hearts and great senses of humor, as I say quite a bit. Two things that we're very grateful for to be able to have on our human adventure. It makes it easier for us all. So there's always room for more Zen friends. So welcome, welcome. If you want to know how the whole process works in the readings, scroll down in the description box of the video down below. Donations do get first priority. We dive deeper into those, getting to the T, as some of my Zen friends call me, the third eye, private eye. We dive deep and get into the more things with that, pulling more cards. Free readings are generally 1 to 2 card answers or shorter, of course. So if you make a donation, you do get a fortune cookie, 1 per session. Tonight we're finishing up with the Inner Child Oracle. And so you get one of those as well as a fortune cookie. I don't have any set dollar amounts. And you can make a donation by the super chat down below or in the description box of the video to have my Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and Square there. And so whatever you give from your heart is the perfect amount. I know not everyone can afford to donate. That's why in the last 30 minutes of the session, if I don't get to any free readings, if I'm just doing donations, I will cut to do those. So we always get to some free readings during a session. But Fridays, I'm sorry, not Fridays. Tomorrow's Sunday. Sundays are different. I always come back in the afternoon. If I don't finish everything out on a Sunday morning, I do come back to finish out all free readings and everything in the Sunday evening. Last weekend, I finished it all in the morning session. First time since I started Sunday morning. So you never know. I may not be on in the afternoon. It all depends. It varies from session to session, of course. I think that is the main stuff about that. After each session, I do post a pinned comment listing all the order of the readings with the timestamps. So you can always come back, find the video, look at the pinned comment, click on that little timestamp. It takes you right in the video to where your reading is. So super cool, right? I did also want to let you know, Monday I announced a new podcast series that I'm starting up called The Easier Path. And in brudda-zen style, I do have giveaways and specials in celebration of that. So the giveaway, and all this is in the description box of the video too, but the giveaway is if you comment on the intro video, then with something that you're grateful for, we'll have a drawing on October 1st for at least one winner. And depending on how many people participate, I might have more winners as well. Also, I am having a special, whoops, scrolled too far there. Come on, mouse. There it goes. I'm having a special on my personal recorded readings on my 15-minute. I have it reduced to $7.77, and my 30-minute is down to $15.15. So that's going to be through all of the end of September and into October, all the way through October as well. And so if you're interested, you can check those out. So I just want you to know the savings and giveaways that are out there in case you're interested. I think that's everything. So I'm going to be switching to using the Lost Soul Tarot. I love the designs and simplicity of these cards. Just felt I used the other tarot deck last night and this morning, so I like to change it up. I get tired of looking at the same cards as you guys probably do too. Let's give these a shuffle. We'll start up. I do have one donation that came in as I left the morning session. So, Sean G, thank you for all your multiple donations this morning. We will complete yours up first. That's the only donation I have. And then if I don't have any other donations, we'll jump into free readings and we'll see what we got going on. So, Sean G, here is your timestamp. And you wanted to know, is it your highest interest, to text K back? All right. Let's take a look here and see what we have here for K. Is it in your interest? It's kind of a yes or no with that one. And of course, they always have a little bit extra, usually, which means you're open for it. Otherwise, they would just kind of just say yes or no and be gone. But you're always open to hearing more from them, of course. All right, let's see here. Is it in your highest interest based on current energies? You got the Five of Wands here. Five of Wands is an energy of drama. So I don't know here. It feels like a conflicting energy that's here. The bottom of the deck, you do have the Page of Pentacles, which is about new opportunities in the future. Like there's whatever this texting is for, it feels like there's something more in alignment with who you are in the future here. We'll see what the clarification is here too, because we got the Seven of Pentacles, the Four of Cups. Yeah, there's this patient, slow moving energy with the Seven of Pentacles. And the Four of Cups is kind of a stagnancy of emotion around your interactions as well. So it's kind of like slow your roll, bring it to a not a nullified, but just a psst. It's like it's almost like a heart monitor. Beep, just bring it to a beat. Not necessarily an end. Well, we'll see if they clarify it's okay to let it end or not here. But let's see what this is here before I say anything else. Yeah, we have the Hermit. It's time for some alone time. Stepping back, the Lantern there is about all communicating with spirit, interacting with spirit. With that came out the Eight of Wands. Yeah, the Eight of Wands, especially with the Hermit card, with those coming out together, it's time to step back and trust your instincts, but also you have a lot of messages coming in from spirit. So this is about connecting to the spirit realm and stepping back. So very much this energy of kind of let that simmer and let that fall away or whatever it needs to do. It's about stepping back right now within yourself. Yeah, and underneath those cards, you have the Page of Swords, which she is about seeking clarity, seeing things from a higher perspective, and seeing yourself and the spirit realm uh, through the spirit realm, this higher perspective with things and gain some clarity. Just around your life, it feels like, or around whatever this is. Like if it's romance, then this is about stepping back, reflecting on my mindsets, releasing expectations and old thoughts and everything about that. And then, seeing things from a higher perspective. If it's about job or work or anything, we can still do all that with expectations around it because guaranteed, unless you were, you know, taken as a baby to a baby monastery, a Buddhist monastery, a baby Buddha monastery, um, you've been taught a bunch of rules around what everything is supposed to be and should be and need to be, right? So this is a stage here, specifically for this, but also it could be for other things of stepping back and really reflecting on your thoughts and beliefs around whatever situation that is. So I feel like that's what they have. And since you were so patient in getting this one, you do get a fortune cookie for this question as well. So let's take a look here. All right, I got this one here. And you are enough. You do not have to give more. Wow. I love that. Let's see if I can zero in a little more. This doesn't have autofocus on it. I can manually focus, but then I'd have to manually focus me back. But so you saw it good enough, I think. Use your imagination. You have a great one. All right. So you are enough. It says giving, it's card 38, if I didn't say that. Giving of ourselves is such a beautiful treasure to those who receive it, but sometimes we give more than we're able to until there's nothing left within. If you've pulled this card, then it might be time to ask yourself if you have given too much of yourself away. Yeah, Overgivers Anonymous. It's another name of my channel, right? The people who tend to be overgivers, where we were taught to give so much, and as a child felt like we give 1,000 love coins or 1,000 action coins or whatever to get 1 coin back, and we think that's fair. We just went down to our subconscious, and it runs that way until we question it, right? Until we consciously bring up that subconscious belief system and balance it out 1 to 1. So, an acceptance exercise says take some time today to reflect on your relationship with giving by journaling your response to these questions. What motivates your desire to give? Does giving of yourself fulfill an empty place within you? Do feelings of unworthiness lead you to give? Do you feel safer when you are in a position of giving or sacrifice? And how do you feel when you're not giving of yourself to others? Do you feel selfish? After you've written down your responses, take some time to review your answers. Is there a belief or pattern that arises? If you have pinpointed a pattern or belief around giving too much of yourself, now might be a good time to address that with your inner child. Let your inner child know that it's okay to release the belief or pattern that is leading you to give more of yourself than you actually can. And in all things, beloved, remember that you are enough right now, just as you are. Wow. And a responsive journaling prompt: how does it feel to know that you are enough without having to give yourself away? That's powerful. That is the Six of Pentacles, the overgiver's awareness energy, or sometimes I call it the codependency awareness card, because that's what happens. We are an overgiver. Other people are in a position to receive or take everything we're giving, and then we give and give and give until we're exhausted, and then we give and give and give even more till we're resentful, and that doesn't end well. And then us being overgivers, it kind of changes it from an adult to a parent-child relationship. And then when we do that, we actually, the other person, we don't allow them to give back a whole lot subconsciously, even though consciously we're like, yes, please. Subconsciously, those um, that rate of exchange of giving and receiving below the surface, that's down there in the subconscious, is what's in control and running. And we're wondering why, when I give 1,000, I only am getting one back, because that's all our inner child has been told that it's worth. That's the rate of exchange, right? So I love this, that, you know, as we go through that, the awareness can come in and we can balance that out. Because when we're in that parent-child relationship, they will go end up because we don't allow them to give us a whole lot. They will go and give to friends and become workaholics, or working out, or their hobbies, or their friends, or affairs. Is how 3 out of 5 of my relationships ended up. So they ended up going outside because I'm an overgiver and recovering overgiver. And so some good information there here. All right. So up first, we do have Hot Sun. So Hot Sun, let's grab yours here. And it says, what are ease, feelings, and intentions towards you? And the bottom of the deck. He's been communicating a lot with you this week. All right. Let's take a look here. What are ease, feelings, and intentions? Okay, what are their feelings first? Okay. And then this one is their intentions. All right, bottom of the deck, you do have the Chariot. So what that means for you there. Um, their feelings, we got the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles, a very balancing energy, very choice energy, like the Chariot. Of course, the Chariot's the power of choice, movement. But I feel like it's like I have a choice between two things going on here. And so their feelings here with this, I just it feels, I'm going to say emotionally, because we're talking about feelings, right? Emotionally, it feels, I'll say dirty because of course emotions are water and earth energy. The two pentacles is mud. It just feels muddied. That's a better word because it's like, whoa, what? Well. But it feels muddied. And it's like I'm seeing this as like more of a scale, you know. And of course they have you and the worth that they're putting around how they feel about you, and they're balancing it with this other scale, this other thing on the other side of the scale, right? And but this isn't another real person. I've been getting this off and on lately in readings because it's like there's this idea of who they think the perfect person that would for them is, and it's a combination of this person and that person and that person and that movie star and that movie star and this, and it's like a Frankenstein monster, as I've been calling it. That's all these things that are combined together, and it's like that person don't exist. That's a mirage. It's a made up illusion that anyone, when we compare that to this perfect person, but we all have this really, when we think, oh my gosh, that's weird that they have that, but really we have this long list of expectations of who someone is supposed to be, should be, need to be, have to be, how they're supposed to treat me, how they're not supposed to treat me, their actions, their non-actions, their words, their silences, all of those things. We have this is who they need to be. We have it. Some we've peeled away some stuff going, that's not necessary, that's not necessary. It's like there's this, you know all these tiny weights of all these things we've been taught over time who someone's supposed to be, and we put it on the scale, and as we put people on there, they've never been able to even move the scale, so we start to go, well, do I really need this? No. Is this really? No, I don't really need that. Do I need that? And it's like, oh, the scale moved. Okay. And we've been removing things, but some people haven't. I don't feel like they've removed a whole lot off their scale yet. So that's kind of what they're looking at, and their feelings are more observation and exploration of who you are to see how this happens. But I do feel like they're what's holding them back is this other weight on that other side. Let's see what their intentions are for you. We have the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is about, look at again, the balance of fours and fours, four on each side. His intentions are to, with the emotionally here, I like what we got cups, but I like this intention of seeing, if you balance on the scales and seeing I what can I remove, or do I feel there's anything I can remove on one side to balance things out. So this power of choice energy of the Chariot on the bottom, that you wanted to see there, is all about power of choice, right? It's I get to decide what I want, my stories, my emotions, my energy, my physical actions, but they're in this choice, gathering information to make a choice energy, if that makes sense. That's what they have for you right now. So enjoy, hot sun. Many blessings to you. All right. Then we have Ateshi Singh. You are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. Sorry, crunching up my cough drop here. So Ateshi, you wanted to know the signs that I saw from HL during my internship and when I got promoted to full-time. What were they? What were these signs? What did these signs mean? Let's see here. Yeah, so you have the Page of Swords, and you also have the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles energy has to do with some deep energies of lack. They are an energy of the change of our perception of lack, because it's the number five, but it brings to the forefront first. It's a fear of being abandoned, being left behind, being left on the cold, not being enough, not having enough, right? And so, a big challenge of ours as humans is that we usually have a childhood that teaches us we're not good enough because, we get punished. And when we're ever punished, either through rejection or whatever happens when we're growing up, people being sad or disappointed in us or in something we did or whatever, where we learn that I'm not perfect and I fall short and I'm trying to be who they want me to be, which we end up, when we're trying to do that, we always end up, of course, not being able to please everyone all the time. So we end up disappointing other people and feeling disappointed, right? But this lack energy, I feel like with this Page of Swords, the signs you saw and the things you were picking were part of the journey of realizing, because that Page of Swords is seeing things from a higher perspective and cutting away our small t truths that are rooted in fears, right? And so I feel like a big piece of this was it's a reflection and opportunities for growth. The signs that you got during this, when you during your internship and then when you got promoted to full time, you were like, it's all part of um, the mirroring to show you where you're putting your worth. And as you've been feeling the disappointment and reinforcing that with hope and then getting disappointed and reinforcing it with hope and getting disappointed and reinforcing it with hope, is to point you inward to show you where your true worth resides, which is inward and upward, that connects you to that eternal unconditional love of the higher realms where you are priceless. When we look to the outside world for our definition of our worth, which the three buckets that we're taught as humans is relationships, situations like jobs, education, social status, and things, our bodies, our bank accounts, our possessions. So these three areas that we're taught to define ourselves by, those are all unstable. And so, when we define ourselves by those, we get disappointed, but all that disappointment, our fingers pointing us back inward and upward so we can find that, right? So I feel like that the signs that you were getting were pointing you, they were mirrors and reflections in a way of guiding you into this beautiful reflection so you can find that true worth of who you are inward. So hopefully that makes sense. I feel like that's what's coming in there for you with these cards. So many blessings to you. Hey, Debbie O. Hello, hello. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Enjoying your adventures. All right. So we have Brenda Globy. You are up next here. Let's grab your timestamp. You want to know what's happening in AS's life during this upcoming eclipse in her physical reality. All right. Let's take a look here. All right. There's one. What else? Okay. Come on, cards. So we've got the Six of Swords. Wow, beautiful. And the World. Yeah, definitely. great energy that's supported by the eclipses because the World card, being the last card in the major arcana, is an energy of ending of old cycles, beginning of new adventures, letting go of something that's done what it's needed to do and ready for a new adventure, free of a lot of expectations, full of a lot of possibilities. And the Six of Swords that comes in here as well, um, is an energy here of leaving behind old ways of thinking, and seeing things from a higher place that allow us to move from choppy waters to calmer waters. So both these cards work so well together in this ending of an old cycle, the leaving behind of old belief systems, seeing things from a higher perspective, ready to go to a higher experience. Um, and I like that. It's definitely a positive movement. The world being a victory card, they've reached what they've needed. The whatever's bubbled up and has bubbled up purposely, and the work they've done to work through that, they're ready for a new beginning. They're ready to end an old thing and bring in a new thing in their life. And that can be relationships, jobs, moving physically in the physical world too. Can be really any of our different things. That can be even something about our physical body, something we're leaving behind, something new we're beginning with that. So it can cover every aspect of it coming in. But I feel like that is a little kind of overview of the big energy of the impact that's hitting them with this eclipse season. So hopefully that helps. But that's what they have. So many blessings to you. All right. Then we have Touch O Love. View at 3234. Boom. You want to ask? Can you ask what's coming for you this week? Absolutely. All right, let's take a look here. What is coming for you this week? All right. We actually got 3 cards. So let's see what we got here. Do we have 9 of Cups energy? Look, all those cups. Wow, the Lover's card. Whoa. And you also have the Hanged Man. Okay. I know, right? We should look at this one first because this is the dream come true relationship, and represents kind of the fairy tale that you have created around what this is and the definition of all this, right? Well, you get the Hanged Man that comes in, which is this is about seeing the story that we have around what that is supposed to look like, and this fairy tale story that we've created around it all based on all this feedback growing up. There's this seeing it from a different perspective. There's this stepping back and going, what is it that I really want? And I've been told I'm supposed to want a prince, but you know um, what if a lumberjack, hey, or even a princess, what is it that we're wanting, right? It's like breaking beyond the barriers of what we feel like we're supposed to want in this, and what is it that I truly want. So it's really this stepping up, getting in tune with our heart, getting in tune with seeing things from a higher perspective, and realizing all of these rules that we have around relationship is very prominent here. The supposed to be, should be, need to be, have to be, must be's, who they're supposed to be, what are they supposed to look like, what are they supposed to bring to the relationship, how's the relationship supposed to start, how it's supposed to progress, how it's supposed to end up, what's the outcome, what's it supposed to bring and give to me and make me feel, and how am I supposed to be in that, and my part in it's a lot of supposed to and should and need to, all these rules that are exhausting. Doesn't it just sound like work and not like an enjoyable experience? Well, this is the freedom that comes of getting everyone else's opinion out of our heads and sitting with our heart and going, what is it that I would love to have as a partner in life, And so I love that energy that's coming in here for you. So that is what they gotcha for you there, Touch O Love. So many blessings to you. All right. Boom, boom. Just put your little and grab your little symbol there. So Debbie O, we got here's the oops. I hit the caps button. All right, there we go. Here is your boom. That's your time stamp. So whatever spirit wants you to know, Debbie O, it's been a roller coaster since August 15th, but calming down. Oh, is that's from the starting the self-love journey, right? The release. Have is the aquifer emptied? They used to have an aquifer underneath San Antonio. That's where they would get the water from. And they'd have aquifer warnings. It's getting low. And now it's like, is your aquifer, it's the emotional one, emptied? Have you cried enough tears? You're like, nope, I got a whole ocean. Well, hang in there, my dear. And all this eclipse energy, of course, is amplifying everything and allowing you to really scrub and clean inside that heart, right? All right. So what does spirit want you to know? All right. These two. So you got the Ace of Wands and the Page of Cups. Yeah. Ace of Wands is a new spark of energy, and the Page of Cups is a heightened emotions in a positive way, like higher vibration emotions. So I like this, that they're really celebrating this energy that you've been putting into, because this is your magic wand, your focus on your emotional journey of self-love. Because look at that big old cup. That's a big old honkin' cup, chalice of self-love, right? But it's definitely like a celebration of the energy that you've been putting into raising your vibration, focusing on your self-love. And I like this for you because it's like, because you've been focusing on it, it is going to bring that energy towards you. It is going to help raise your love vibration. Um, I do feel like it's also like a little awareness, because you get to experience and choose what you want, of course, but they're saying, because they're reminding me, like I used to do like 90% shadow work, 10% focusing on gratitude for what I do have, because I was all about, my Capricorn rising was all about get into the shadow, just go. And so I was deep into the caves and the crevices of my shadow. And as I do that, it grew. And I'm like, okay, Spirit was like, there's a way that you can, if you raise your love vibration by focusing like um, 80, 90% of your time on higher vibration, gratitude of what I do love in my life, enjoying the things, playing, unconditional love, joy, laughter, and then 10 or 20% on my shadow, clearing things out, then that helps change the energy that I live within, because I'm going to be drawing in all this stuff and chunking this stuff out and transforming it. But if I focus so much on my lower vibration, then you know I I I magnify that, and that gets bigger. So I like that here too. It's a celebration of the work that you're doing. Just like we all do as humans, we might end up like tipping into it instead of, you know, going um, balancing that out. So I like that for you. So hopefully that resonates for you, Debbie O. That's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Sun and Moon, we will circle back around for more free readings here in a moment. I do have one coming in here. Hey, Rabia. Hello. Good to see you. Hello, hello. All right. Let me just put this in here for my afterwards. So, Divine Lovely, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. There you go. Thank you so much for your donation. Let's give that a love and a like here since it lets me. And you want to know, will you have your baby early? Messages from Spirit, please. All right. Of course, disclaimer in the description box of the video. Of course, I'm not a medical professional or a baby doctor. So tarot is for fun and entertainment purposes only. Ultimately, of course, you are already consulting a licensed medical professional, so I know that. All right. So let's take a look here. Based on current energies, will you have your baby earlier than the due date that they have predicted for you? All right. One card. We'll see what that is. And then what else? What else does Spirit want you to know here? All right. Boom, boom, boom. We got this one here. Sorry. Itch, itch, itch. What's a itchy left ear mean? I got fleas? No. All right. So let's see here. Will they come early here? Wow, the full card. I love this. The full card is a new adventure. Um, and this does feel like they do come early because the full card, I'm getting this excitement energy. This is the soul. For me, it represents the soul as well. So I love this, energy of I'm excited and in a bit of I know you're gonna love this, but they're very um, hard-headed in that they're stubborn and they want things their way. This they're already starting with this energy of, I will come into this world when I am ready, and I'm coming early. You can't tell me to wait. I'm coming early. So I like that energy coming in here with that, and we'll take a look at and see that. But I do feel like they're coming early. Let me see here if there's any whens. I have this learning tarot. We'll see if this resonates. I like to because they have times and dates and stuff on here. So let's see if they'll give us anything on timing at all here. Well, this is every 2 to 3 days. We have the Two of Swords here. um, so it doesn't feel like it's super early. It's like maybe 2 to 3 days early. So it's not like significantly a lot early. Um, I do feel here with the Two of Swords, like there's I don't want to say like it's not a false labor because I feel like it starts to like, you're like, oh, what's that? And it feels like, baby wants to come. And it's like, no, 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 no. And I feel like that you either have bed rest or um, they give you something to slow it down or something because I feel like they want to come earlier. Um, and they already know that the second time where it comes 2 or 3 days earlier, that you're able to do that. But I feel like with those two, they start wanting to jump the gun a little bit, and we're like, simmer down, Rattler, simmer down now. And then it doesn't come until 2 to 3 days before your birth. I mean, before the due date. So how exciting. Let's see what else we have here. We got more cards here. Hey, Robbie. Yeah, you can ask a question. Absolutely. We've got the moon card. I love it. So there's a bit of water energy here. I don't know when the due date is. Is this soon? I feel like a water sign energy coming in here. Very, very, a very empathic soul. But this does feel moon is important. So it could be, is there a full or new moon near your due date? And is this a Scorpio? Is it coming up that soon? Or is this um, Yeah, because if it's not Scorpio, it'd have to be Pisces, right? 4 months later. But, I just feel like there's a big presence of water energy in their chart, or, it could be a water moon too. But moon is important too, or they'll be born on a water moon, because the moon changes signs every 2 to 3 days. And there's that 2 to 3 days energy again, 2 to 3 days, throughout the month. So I feel like there's gonna be very empathic, very, emotional, stubborn, uh, being, and so they're just like, "Get ready, here I come." But I feel like it'll be important for you to know to follow the moon. If you don't follow the moon already, because it does change every 2 to 3 days, and it goes from fire energy to water energy to oh, no, not a fire, earth energy to air energy to earth energy. I mean, water energy. I'll get it right one of these times. It's fire, earth, air, water. Fire, earth, air, water. It goes through all, um, and it repeats like that through all the signs from Aries all the way to Pisces, right? So we go through that, and if you understand, why are they all acting up? Well, the 3 days or 2, 3 days of the fire moon, they might be a little more fiery emotionally and active, and then they go into really grounded. Are you okay? Because 2 or 3 days they're more grounded and earthy and into the senses, and then 2 to 3 days after that they're in their head and overthinking things, or thinking about things, and really this is a good time for them to learn things. And then they go into water where they're going to be very emotional, and then all of a sudden they're into fire again, right? So understanding that, with the child in advance, you can track it and keep track of it and understand it, and then have a game plan of how you want to help with that, right? All right. So you've got one card and then three cards, and then you have another one card. So let's see what else they want you to know here. Two of Pentacles coming in here. There's this wonderful balanced energy. You've got the Eight of Wands. Here's all that fire energy that we talked about, the go, go, go. Um, Energy here, and the Page of Pentacles. I love this. I love that they're on your belly there. Just where a baby would be. Well, kind of. I guess it's a little higher. It's this entire area, though. Um, so this is really interesting energy in that it's, um, a very balanced. With the Eight of Wands, it's four wands on one side, four wands on other, Pentacles one on other. If if it's almost like maybe you'll have twins next time around. I'm just getting twin energy, and they definitely come early, but I don't feel like twins with this one here. Um, but I feel like you might have twins in your future. But I like this balanced energy, and yeah, what a great older. Is this going to be? Do you know the gender yet? If you don't want to know, pause real quick. Because I'm getting very feminine energy. But there's a because I was going to say what a great older sister they would make to twins, twin boys. You're like, oh my god, you have your hands full. But I like this energy here, that's coming in here. It's very balanced, very. The Page of Pentacles is a great birth. It's a, abundance, success, flowing very easily, very balanced energy with all of this too. Yeah, and you had Mother Luna energy, Cancer, who's ruled by Cancer, and then you get the Cancer Moon again with the Chariot card here. Um, so I love this, Cancer energy, because mother energy. It's what a wonderful journey it is of being a mother, and um, and also helps transform your relationship and perspective of your mother. with you, with this energy I feel coming in here too. So I love this for you. Again, a victory, success card with the chariot card, smooth movement, and the power of choice. You get to, how everything is unfolding, you get to always choose your story around it, your emotions around it, your energy, your physical actions. So you get this wonderful energy. So I like it. Let's get you a fortune cookie too, which of course of all of the decks that I'm using for the fortune cookies, we have the inner child oracle. So let's see what we have here for you, divine lovely. All right. All right, there we go. Oops, let me put the book down here. All right, and you have it is never truly the end. Beautiful. And we're talking about diapers. It feels like they never end. I'm just kidding. Beloved, in this, everything will be okay. I love that. I love it. Everything will be okay. and this is interesting because the endings are an inevitable part of the rhythm of life. They're bittersweet in nature and can seem to come at the least opportune moments. So this isn't this. They just want me to make sure this is not an ending of your pregnancy. So this ending is like an ending of a one cycle of your life to begin a whole different new cycle of your life. Though it is often true that when one door closes, another opens, this might not always be what we would wish for at the time, and it doesn't always bring us the comfort we desire. Many times, the open doors that endings create can bring about conflicting emotions within. So, if you pulled this card, allow yourself to feel whatever you feel around this current ending in your life. So, whatever this feeling of change in your life, because it is, and I can imagine for a mother it's so much more, not to downplay the impact on fathers, but it's like where I'm responsible for me, then suddenly I feel like I'm responsible for this, because if I don't do things, it can't do it for itself. It's not like an adult where if I don't do it for them, they'll find a way. It's like if I don't do it for this child, they're gonna die, right? So it's like there's a difference in a change of the feeling of it's almost like the feeling of freedom goes away. But I know usually for mothers it's a a well um, welcomed, sacrifice, right? Or eventually. All right. So acceptance exercise says take the time you need to process the emotions you have and remember that there is no need to feel shame. It's okay to be excited or sad. It's okay to feel mad or afraid. It is okay to be happy. It is okay to exist as you are right now in these moments. Take heart that in every ending, no matter how it may feel now, there is hope. Know that there is something glorious waiting for you along this new path. A responsive journaling prompt says, what can you do today to honor the current ending in your life? So I like that, right? So beautiful card for you there. And thank you again. That's what they have. Many blessings too. Thank you for your donation. Greatly appreciated. All right. So let me grab some of the other free readings here. You are very welcome, Divine Lovely. Me? Good evening. It's me. I'm still here. Yay. Glad to have you still on the planet. Hanging in there, enjoying the moments, I'm sure, or trying to. All right. So we'll go back to free readings here. We do have Sun and Moon. You are up at 5506. It's almost 5505. Be all those fives. This is always wonderful CD2. So when does spirit see B, D, and U getting to see each other next? All right, let's take a look here. Okay, we got this and this. Let's see what we have here. So we've got the Five of Cups and the Empress. Interesting. Five of Cups energy is really about some emotional transformation. And the Empress, she's full of emotion as well. She rules over all four queens, and each queen gets a portion of cups behind the scenes, plus the Queen of Cups. So there's 5 parts emotion that comes in. Well, here's the 5 cups. So there's 5 parts emotion. 1 part fire, 1 part air, 1 part earth, right? So it does feel here when we guys get to see each other again, very emotional energy. I feel like it will be around a water moon, but there's all this conflict coming in here. And it almost feels like you're going to have to, with this Empress, you're going to have to create the opportunity. Because I feel like they're amongst a bunch of drama. And if it's like, hey, let me distract you, let me kidnap you, it's like you need time away from the drama. So I've got the that kind of energy coming in here. We can take a look and see when the next moon, the water moons are. I'm behind here. Here we go. Come on. Because we got all this air. Well, we do have Scorpio the 25th. It's actually early in the morning, actually Wednesday. So next Wednesday, the 24th, is when it goes into Scorpio for a few days, goes into Sagittarius the evening of Friday. So there's an opportunity there. Like every week we have a water moon. But I do feel it's important. I feel like you'll be the one that'll be, reaching out and to do this. So I feel like they're saying it's up to you, because I feel like on their end they're just so distraught in life with all this drama, like I said, going on around them, that they're kind of that's not consumed. Is that the word? Consumed. Just embedded and surrounded, cocooned in all this stuff, that it's like, here, let me come and grab you and take you away. No, I feel like if you don't, I don't know, it feels like it'll be quite a while, because they're just so caught up in all of this here. So, I feel like Spirit is saying here, the next time you see them, would be when you reach out to them, because I just feel like whatever this Five of Cups, they're absorbed and distracted by it so much. Can I ask a quick clarifier here? Just if you don't reach out, when would it be? Okay. Oh, Halloween? I don't know. The death card. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it won't be until the drama ends then, which, based on current energy, it feels like it's just so much. It just feels like so much that's happening. And I feel like it's it would be a good thing that like they would it would be a nice break for them to, get away. But like if you prefer it, that's when it would happen, which I get it. As long as you know it, right? Like, well, yeah, I'm just gonna have to wait for the storm to pass. And feels like it it's almost like a volcano. It dies down a little bit and then it explodes again, and then it dies down a bit and then it explodes again. It's like you have to wait till the volcano is dead. And then you're like, all right, it's gone dormant. Now's the time, right? So it feels like, I mean, like months kind of energy. Um, so yeah, it's just like there's so much involved and so many cooks in the kitchen of that drama meal that's just going on, that it's like, it's like almost like this one backs off, then this one begins, and this one backs off, this one begins, that one backs off, this one re-begins. It's just like, when is it going to stop? Um, because it's like they're all reacting off of each other. It's like a nuclear reaction that's there. So that's what they have right now, Sun and Moon. So I know. All right, Rob. Yeah, Robbie, yeah, I do have yours. Do not worry. There's just people before you. That's why I was doing them before you there. Let's see here. And we also have, hey, Marissa. Yours. And you're very welcome, Debbie O. And then Marissa, yeah, I can do a free question. Do you have a specific question, or do you want a general reading? You can let me know. We have a couple more before you. All right, so Rabia, you're at 102.11 for your timestamp. We'll put that down here. Anyone to know, does the driver named Amir, have they put any recording in your home to hear things? Ooh, okay. Let me move this out of the way here. All right. My goodness. Let's take a look here. So can you let us know, have they put any listening device in there? All right. Put that one, not all of those. Don't want that one, they want this one. All right, let's see what we got here. We've got this Ace of Cups, Two of Cups energy in here, which is interesting. That's a timestamp. That's where in the video your reading appears. So if you ever need to come back to it, also after I'm done with the session, I'll have a little list of all the ones I've completed with timestamps. If you ever need to come back, you can click on it. It'll take you right to your reading. So that's what that timestamp is. But there is this, it's an interesting energy here. I don't feel like they've put a listening device here, because this Ace of Cups and Two of Cups, it feels like there's a progression here of emotion that's happening here, and I don't feel like there's any recordings that they put in here, because this feels like brighter, more. I mean, it doesn't have to be romantic energy, but it is caring energy. It's almost like they care for you, then they would want to do anything to hurt you, or um, anything like that. So it feels like there's more an underlying kind of um, caring energy than there is any kind of aggressive or anything else. So with with these cards, I would say no, that they haven't. But if you're concerned, don't say anything inside. Better be safe than sorry, right? Because tarot is for fun, and we hear from spirit. But if your life can be in danger by what someone over here, of course, just be like, you know what? I'm just not going to say anything that I don't want to be overheard, right? I will say it outside. So hopefully that helps, Rabia. That's what they have for you. All right. Okay, and I think. All right. So, Marissa, if you want to put out your question there, then I will wait for it because you are up next. And then I don't have anyone else after that. So this might be a short sesh this evening. um, so if you want to put your question out, Marissa, we'll pull your card there. Or cards. You get 2 cards for a free reading. Debbio, you were trimming your dog hair. Oh, boo 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 boo. You have such a cute puppy. All righty, everybody. Well, Marissa, hello. Marissa, hello. Is this thing on? Bap, bap, bap. Well, Spirit knows what your question will be anyway. All right. Let's see here. So what do you have for Marissa? All right. I'm going to go ahead and put your timestamp out here, Marissa. And so I don't see a question from you. You have a question. So can you do everyone? I don't see it out here. So you are up. So if you'll put your question, then we'll pull cards for it. You might be behind too. Oh, you're typing. Okay. Okie dokie. So be patient. All right. And oh, okay. So will Marquez come back to see you again? Oh, okay. Marquez. Okay, let's take a look here. So based on current energies, will he come back to see you again? All right. Got this one. And we also have these 2. So you'll get 3 for this reading here. Got the 2 of Wands. Oh my gosh. Kind of an undecided energy that they're in. Let's see what else we have here. We got the 6 of Wands and the 9 of Swords. So I can see there's this, they're kind of going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Because the 6 of Wands is a victory energy, an equal attraction energy, a very positive card. So they had a great, visit, right? But the 9 of Swords represents nightmares and insomnia, like fears and um, these expectations and these fears of just that, all these expectations, these fears of disappointing, these fears of um, what would happen or not happen. And, they have, I feel like when I'm sitting in their energy, I have a fear of rejection. I have a fear a lot of people really liking me in the beginning, but then people fizzle out and then they end to you know, um, leave them or cheat on them or, um, pick fights with them. I just feel like they have this cycle that they have a lot with relationships. And that's what they're afraid of. And that's with this Two of Wands, why they go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Um, so I feel a great amount of indecision because I keep on checking and they're going, it's like it depends on. You ever see those Instagram posts where it's flashing a bunch of pictures and you do a screenshot? That's the one you have for the moment. And then it continues to go. If you take a different screenshot, you get a different one. That's what they're showing me with their decisions. It's like one moment, yeah, and one moment, no. One moment, yeah, one moment, no. They're just so back and forth and back and forth with this. Something that you can do with this Two of Wands is talks about it's a good reflection of our energy is if because if I have expectations, which is the Nine of Swords, if I have expectations on like this is what I want and this is what they should do, or I fear they won't, or I want and need, that energy actually pushes against them coming towards you, where you can help it by if you focus on, I'm going to focus on what I'm grateful about, the interactions I have had with them. What am I grateful for? What are the things I've loved and enjoyed with it? When I focus my energy on that, then that allows it to be, a magnet for that instead. So I'm getting it depends on the moment when you ask them if they are, because they've been changing their mind so much, going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. When they're in that thinking about the great moments, they're like, yeah, I want to visit again. When their fears have a hold of them, they're like, no, I don't think I want to do this. And then they go back into the, oh, yeah, nah, 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 back and forth and back and forth. So, gosh, I know. But that's what they have for you, Marissa. I wish I had more for you there, but that is what they have right now. So many blessings to you. Hang in there. All right. Hey, Olivier, good to see you. Back again. Hello. Thanks for returning. um, no, about visiting you, right? Isn't that what you asked? Will Marcus come back to see me again? So this is all about coming back to see you or not. Um, I don't know if it's necessarily about you completely, but about visiting, because it's the fears that kick in, that they're afraid, but how they feel about you doesn't change. It's just about visiting you, is what changes uh, because of those fears. So I don't feel like what they feel about you changes, because this Six of Wands, what a great time we had when I visited you, but then there's these fears that kick in. So they're like, oh, I don't know. Well, I want to, but the mind gets involved, right? The heart is like, yes. And the mind's like, no, I don't know, kind of thing, right? So that's what they got there. That's what they got there. All right. So let me take a look here. Hey, Olivia. Good to see you as well. Let's grab your free reading here. I'm doing well. And let's see, was there anything else in here? Always good to see you. All right, so let me just say we're down here so I can keep track where we're at. I am from Colorado, in the United States, in the middle of the the middle of the United States, up near the mountains. Let me grab yours too here, Olivier. All right. So Olivia, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. So for your free reading, when will MB finally have enough and leave her current living situation? Hell if I know. oh, that's why we have tarot. Yeah. All right, let's change energy here. Let me take a sip of my green tea here. Cheers, everybody. All right. So based on current energies, When will MB finally have enough and leave her current living situation? When? Oh, when. All right, thank you. Two cards came out here. Yeah, it's like the answer when they've had enough, the Ten of Swords and the Hierophant, which is the card of change, um, about seeing things from a higher perspective, a different perspective. This Ten of Swords, you know, and maybe I'll pull one of these learning tarot for a when question, see if it resonates on the timing that it gives us. But when we are like when the ugly feeling of not being true to myself and doing what I want, when that is outweighed by my fears, I don't take action, right? But when this ugly feeling, when all of this, the Ten of Swords is when I'm sick and tired of feeling sick and tired of trying to please everyone else and doing what I think I'm supposed to do and everyone is thinking I'm supposed to do and what da, 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 da. When that becomes stronger than my fears, that's when I take action, right? And that's when this change happens with the Hierophant, the number 5. This I'm getting there's also teacher student energy of the Hierophant. I don't know if it's about when I've learned my lessons, then I leave the classroom and not until then, right? Right? The one, right? Um, I don't know if they're going away, if there's an opportunity to go away for some sort of schooling or when school is complete or some training is complete. That it just feels like there's something to do with the mind that needs to finish before I move on. So the classroom isn't done yet. And it's like, okay. And when we're like, when will they finally have enough? It's it'll be the perfect timing. And that's the whole thing is that we get to, you know, their situation is teaching us, right? When we look at someone going through things and they keep repeating cycles, and it's when we have this frustrating feeling inside that why won't you do what's best for you? um, that's a good indication for us is why won't I do what's best for me, which is release my thoughts and expectations around how they are supposed to act or not act, say or not say. Because if I have frustration, if I have things welling up within me, so it's a great mirror for us. I know I learned a lot through that of, you know, um, I mean, there's just so many examples. I mean, I'm trying to like pick one, but there's like they're all coming at me once. Um, well, like with my mom, and I did a great Byron Katie. She's got a Judge Your Neighbor worksheet, and it's free. Process at her website, thework.com. It's TheWork.com. It's a great thing because one of the things that helped me realize because um, my mom, um, I'm almost 60. I'm a year and a half away from 60, but she's in her 80s. My dad and my mom in their 80s. I can't believe it. I can't believe my only sibling, my older brother, that he gets to hit all the things first. Anyway, that's a whole nother thing. But just to understand that she has pain, and she has had pain for many years. And when she would tell me about her pain, I didn't want to ask her how she was doing because she would talk about all her pain. And I would be like, oh my gosh. Inside, I'd be saying, why is she being such a victim? Why does she always complain about all of her pain? Da 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 da. And when I did this worksheet, I realized, oh, I kind of sound like a victim when I'm saying all that inside, right? So it's like the victim in me was recognizing the victim in her, which allowed me, or it was a mirror for me to see that so that I could be freed from it. So I like that, where we learn so much and about, why won't they do what's best for them? And it's like, oh, three fingers pointing back at me. The best thing for me to do is to release these expectations, and then I'm less frustrated about what people are doing or not doing, saying or not saying, and when it's not matching up to my noggin up here. Because Byron Katie says, when our mind battles reality, it loses, but only 100% of the time. It's like, oh, so true. So interesting. Let's see here. Let's pull a when card and see, based on current energies, can we know anything? Come on, work with me. Here we go. So is there any when that we can know of? Any tidbit of a gleam of energy? Let's see what we got here. We got two cards. We got February 20th to March 20th and May 28th to June 21st. Yeah, and it's about, I like that they got the Hangman and the Two of Cups, which is seeing things from a different perspective around relationships. Dun, da, da, da. Wow. So that far away, huh? Because we've already, of course, we're past those dates this year. February 20th. Wow. Pisces season. And then that's not a season there. Wow. So if that resonates, but, and that can change from day to day. That's the whole thing about the future that I've experienced doing all the thousands of readings I've done over the years, that even um, in the beginning, when I was doing tarot for friends, I went over to a friend's house and we pulled cards for them, and they said, just a reading on where I'm headed. And it was all dark cards, very dark, conflicting cards, and the death card. And I'm like, because he had a drinking, was drinking alcohol was a huge thing impacting him. And after I think we did readings for 2 or 3 or 4 hours with him and his girlfriend, and um, we're like, all right, well, I think that's it. And he goes, can you just do one more? He goes, all the readings we did about all these different questions, all these different aspects of my life and stuff has really given me a different place. I'm going to make some different choices. So can we pull cards now? It was all, I swear, it was all light cards, light cards, light cards, light cards. And then the sun, which is like the biggest, brightest card in comparison, right? The sun being bright. And it was like, that taught me in that moment, and that was like decades ago, that our futures can change in hours, in moments. And so just something to really be aware of, that it can fluctuate. There's so many moment by moment decisions that change our trajectories, and it's good. It's empowering to know that I'm not stuck. It's not like, I think there's a road that goes across a lake. Is it Lake Charles in Louisiana? I feel like this is where it is, where you get on this. If you get on this freeway that goes, there's no turnaround. I don't think. I think you have to go all the way across it to turn around to come all the way back, or there's a turnaround in the middle. It's one of the two, but you have to go so far. There's no, it's like you're stuck. Sorry. But this is like, there's so many moment to moment choices. So it's amazing. Anyway, you're very welcome. I love that. All right. So that's what they have for you, my dear. Enjoy your evening. Many blessings. And Libby A. Bagara, you are up. Let's grab yours here. All right, I thought I saw another one. Did I miss it? Hold on. Oh, I must have dreamt it. So Libby, here's yours. Here's your timestamp, really, though. All right. So I want to ask if the jobs you looked at will be possible for an interview, or what's coming out in job offers. Okay. So one card for, oops, or there's 3 cards coming out for you around jobs. First card up will be, will the jobs that you looked at, will they be possible for interviews? You got the Seven of Cups. So some of them, because the Seven of Cups is a choice, right? All these choices that are there. So I feel like you're going to get some, and like if let's say you did seven, you get three, three yes, four no, kind of energy. It's like a portion of them. You do, and it's half-ish, right? With that. So I like that. What else coming for job offers here? Yeah, you got the Six of Pentacles, which is a good abundance energy and victory energy. And you have the Three of Swords too. So that is this energy of you win some, you lose some, which we already knew that with the Three and the Four of Cups, but you are spared. Like the ones you don't get, just know that those weren't for you. Otherwise, you'd have got an interview for them. But I do feel like you do get interviews for these here. And the Six of Pentacles I do like because that is a win energy. It is an abundance energy. So I feel at least one, um, and maybe you get four if you had seven, because you have three that don't happen, but you have four. It's out of these that are left over, the interviews. I feel like you do get at least one because you get the coin with those. So I do feel like that is there for you. So hopefully that resonates. But that's what they have for you, my dear, my dear. So many blessings to you. All right. Let's take a look here. I think that is everyone. So last call. I don't think I have any. Let me just scroll one more time because I feel like there was one more. But maybe I was just having a flash of a dream I had because we've been dreaming like crazy with all these eclipses. I can't read and talk at the same time. Wow. Maybe it's good that it ends earlier tonight. Maybe I need a nap. I don't know. Let's take a look here. I'm going to do an inner child oracle for all of us in closing. So for all of you that are here, you can glean from this inner child oracle as a extra blessing tonight. All right, let's see what we got here. So let it come forth. Master number 22. And give yourself permission to feel it. Tomorrow, we've got the new moon in Virgo solar eclipse tomorrow. So tamale, tamale, tamale. So let it come forth. It says, many things occur in life that we may be unable to process, and most, if not all of these, unprocessed events and emotions can be stored inside of us. Yay! So if we've pulled this card for us today, then it might mean there is a repressed emotion, memory, or aspect of the self that's hindering you in your current situation. As repressed emotions can subconsciously fuel many of our behaviors and interactions within the world, it can be beneficial to explore this. An inner work exercise says one of the ways we deal with overwhelming emotions is by storing them within our physical body. We can access these trapped emotions through physical, intuitive movement. For this practice, feel your body and move how you feel led to move, particularly focusing on any areas that feel as if they are under pressure. If you need to punch the air, go for it. If you need to scream or dance wildly, go for it. As you practice this exercise, try to surrender to how your body needs to move. Try to withhold judgment and practice this exercise alone in a dimly lit room if you have trouble letting go. Be gentle with yourself. That's funny. Note, this can be a heavy practice, so please only continue if you are comfortable working with and releasing stuck or repressed emotions. If you feel as though you need further assistance in this practice, consider visiting a somatic therapist or a trauma work professional. Wow. And a response journaling prompt for us is ask yourself if there's anything that needs to be spoken aloud and released. Write down what comes forth, observing it without judgment, and proceed to speak aloud when it needs to be spoken. Wow. It's a powerful card. So that is for all of us. Let it come forth. No more holding it in, which is very much eclipse energy. We're in the full moon phase, right? Yeah, yeah, be happy to, Olivia. So of course, when the full moons are about release energy, right? And so we had the Pisces full moon lunar eclipse 2 weeks ago, and that brings up energy of, especially Pisces is the subconscious underworld, right? And she will help us bring up things that, and this letting go energy is so much that letting go. What are we ready to release? Because as it's like clearing a field of the stuff we've already harvested on the full moon. And from the full moon to the new moon, then we're getting rid of things. We're clearing out things, getting ready to have soil to plant new seeds, which is the new moon that happens 2 weeks later, right? Which is tomorrow. We had a Virgo new moon already 2 weeks before, um, so a month ago, before, um, 2 weeks before the Pisces full moon. And this is a very, well, it's rare. It's not like, oh my God, it's super, super rare, but it's rare that we have a second moon in the same sign. And here it is tomorrow, another Virgo new moon. So it's a black moon, but it's all about planting new seeds. And we get 10 new moon wishes. The 8 hours after the new moon happens, which I believe it's at 4 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow ish, 3 p.m. or 4 p.m., somewhere around there. But within 8 hours after that is the prime thing. And if you have any energy around Virgo energy, it's even more amplified. So things around our physical bodies, that's the Virgo, they roll over that. Also the daily tasks and our daily schedules, um, really comes in with that. It is an earthy energy, it's a grounding energy, although Virgo ruled by Mercury. Big thinkers too. Virgos, Capricorns, even though they're earth signs, they're very much in their heads. And of course, Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra, because we're going into Libra season a couple days after, which luckily helps bring in some good balancing energy. Libra is the scales. It's also relationships. They roll over relationships coming up. So we're going to feel all that impact of the bubbling up of things that were ready to be dealt with, and then also the and then the planting of new things and the growing of new things. The eclipse season is a big energy of endings and beginnings, huge energies of that, um, plot twists. So we've been experiencing that, especially since 2 weeks ago and tomorrow. We've been right in the middle between the eclipses. So if you've been feeling intense and weird energies everywhere, well, that explains a lot of it. And it'll kind of dissipate as we move, away from this eclipse. But it's been a pretty intense energies, right? Sure, Saprita, you can ask a question. You got in just in time. We were asking a question as I had finished all my readings. I was going to be headed out, so you got in before the elevator doors closed. I had a feeling there was one more question though, so this is why I was waiting for you. I knew you were coming. So hopefully that helps, Olivia. Um, there's of course um, a ton of information out on the internet. What I love about Google now, because they have AI, you can just ask questions around what does this current eclipse season, how does it affect us? And they just blah, 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 blah. Or if you have Chat GBT, I haven't tried that yet. I know I'm an old man. I'm like, do I want to learn something new? Nah. All right. So Saprita, let's grab your timestamp here. I'll put it in the chat just for the sake of it, and I'll have it at the end. So you are a master's student. Oh, congratulations. When can you get a job? All right, let's take a look here. Like, when is it for your highest experience to get a job? Because, of course, you can get a job anytime you want. Let's take a look here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you do have the ability here. The Eight of Pentacles is actually school, and then you have the Five of Pentacles, which is an energy of, um, it's a belief in lack. And so the Eight of Pentacles shows school going, and you're investing energy in that, and you'll see the results of your schooling, right? But the job here with the Five of Pentacles, it brings up an energy of, if I'm focusing on, like, I want a job, I need a job, I need to do this, I need to do that, that is actually lack energy that will push it away, right? If I have a fear of I'm not going to get a job, lower vibrational energy invites more of that in. And the Five of Pentacles just brings to our attention we might have some beliefs in lack that are below in our subconscious, that are running on autopilot, that we can question about my worth. But we can also focus our energy in, what am I grateful for about, jobs that I've had in the past? What do I love about those? Because if we put out an energy of gratitude around what we have right now and what we have had, that's have energy, which brings in more, right? Whereas if I focus on what's not happening, I get more of not happening. So it changes our energy. Our energy is so powerful. It draws to us what our focus is on. So if we just are like, creator, whatever you believe your higher power is, it's, thank you so much. I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity for this and this and this. I love this about this. I love that about that. Sincere gratitude. And then we're like, I know you're going to bring me the perfect job in the perfect timing, in the perfect way. Surrender it. I ask for it once, surrender it, and then gratitude, 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 as much as I can, because that's a receiving energy instead of a repelling energy, which want and need and fear and lack, all of that repels stuff away from us, or it draws in lower vibrational experiences. And we don't want that. We had enough of that already, right? There's nothing wrong with it, experiencing it. But when we're done, then we can switch it up. So I um, feel like there is success coming here soon, but if you want to speed that up, then just that switch of energy will help you out. So, all right, very good. Okay. All right. So that is what they have for you, Supriti, and many blessings to you. All right. And Culture Envy, hello, hello. Thank you for your donation. You also made it right in before the elevator doors closed, so that's good. Glad we're still here. I was going to be headed out. It was a night, kind of a slow moving. You're very welcome. I'm glad to hear that. All right, so let's give that a love and a like for the donation here. Culture Envy. You want guidance to getting through the next 10 days. All right. Is it to get through to the end of the month? All righty. Let's see what we got going on here. So guidance. What guidance do you have for culture envy of the next 10 days? Okay. I got those. Not those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Are you going to do 10 10 cards? No, I think this is all they want here. Just one free question per session, Rabia. If you want to make a donation, I can do more than one donations, but I just offer one free reading per session. So I hope you understand. I'll be back tomorrow morning from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Mountain Time, if you'd like to do that. All right. So, culture envy, you do have this death card on the bottom of the deck here. Yeah, that's like, no. How do I guidance on how do I get through the next 10 days? Take everyone out? No. The death card, it's an interesting energy that comes in, with that because, in difficult times, and you guys will hear about this as I go through my Easier Path podcast that I just introduced last Monday. We'll have the first podcast probably next week. I'm just going to do them as I feel led to do them, not try to get on a schedule right now. But I have one almost done. So we'll probably talk about it next week. But in my podcasts, I'm sure I'll talk about, I think I've already mentioned that I almost ended my life when I was 22. And then I had different experiences at different times when things felt so extreme. That I would take it what I called it is I take it down to death. And people are like, "What?" And I go, "No, I'm not thinking about killing myself, but it's because I already faced death and I realized that was what 36 years ago. Um and um it's like taking it down to death. It's like, well, what's the worst thing that could happen? I could die. It could kill me. And then I look at things differently here too, right? So it's really interesting because it's like, okay, I can change my perspective of life when I take it down to death, and then I start building back my life from death, if that makes sense. So it's interesting that that came in with this card here, but it's like, what's the worst thing? It really puts things into perspective. It's like I realized how many small things I was sweating and that things that didn't really matter. And so I like that, but it is a death and rebirth energy that comes in as well. But it's like I have a rebirth. If I feel like things are overwhelming, then I have a rebirth and go, what's the worst thing that could happen? The root of it, and do I fear death? And if I fear death, then I can start questioning why I fear death. Because once especially through connection with spirit and talking with people on the other side and channeling all these people from the other side for people, I'm like, I'm not afraid of death. In fact, I'm ready whenever is convenient. um, I'm not attached to life. It's like that knowing how beautiful it is and what amazing it is, then we can enjoy the moments without so much stress and so much seriousness. We can enjoy it as an adventure instead of like it's a job. And we can start facing all these fears of all these supposed to's and shoulds and stuff. So I like that underlying energy. It's like, how do I get through really bad times? I take it down to death and go, is it going to kill me? Well, if it is going to kill me, I'm going to die one day anyway. Here we go. If it's not going to kill me, all right. It's like I'm either going to get through this moment or I'm not. And in either case, I'm going to be fine. right? I'm either not going to get through it and die, and I'm going to be fine, more than fine, right? Or I'm going to get through it and I'm going to be fine. So either case, I'm going to be fine. And I like that. That comes with that. All right. So let's see what your other cards are here. You got the 9 of Wands. Yeah, the 9 of Wands, there's a stepping into the power of our energy with this. The 9 of Wands is the only thing blocking my way in life is me not stepping into my power, realizing my power, because the 9 wands that are blocking my path, I'm in this long canyon. I can't climb up the walls because they're like all the way up and they're way high. I can't get to the top of them. The only way through is this way, and there's 9 big ones that I can't get through. But if I take my magic wand, it's the perfect amount for me to walk right through it. So if I take my energy and realize my energy is what drives my life, not the external things, but what I choose of my story, my emotions, my energy, my physical actions, that's what draws things towards me. And then I can begin to focus on, am I focusing on higher vibration or lower vibration, things. And then I get to just have that um, step into that power, realizing I'm not on an out of control drama train that's about to leap off the tracks and explode, but that I'm, and I'm not a baby in a backseat of a car being driven around in life, but that my energy is what drives my life, not being driven around. So I like that. Very empowering energies here. So some good stuff on how we can get through these next 10 days. Yeah, and the 2 of Wands. So this came out next to this. 2 of Wands is that power of choice. Again, I like it that, you know, the first part was really about we're the only ones that block ourselves. But the 2 of Wands is our power of our energy, which I just talked about. And then you have these 2 cards. What is these 2 together? You got the 8 of Cups and the 8 of Wands. Yeah, all this flow. Go with the flow energy. Don't try to control everything in the world, realizing the only thing that you have in control is what we talked about, right? I can't control other people's what story they're going to put to what's going on, or me, the emotions that they're going to feel around what's going on in the world, or me, the energy they're putting forward, their physical choices. I don't have any control over any of that. So I bring back all of this control, all this energy I'm investing in trying to control things outside of my control to what I can control. And I like this. This 8 of Wands is evaluating where I'm investing my energy. The 8 of Cups is where I'm investing my emotional energy. You know, if I'm investing all this in things that I can't control, I'm bringing so much energy and emotion back to myself, where it can do the most good. When it's out there, it just kind of evaporates or goes into a black hole. But when I'm bringing it inside for me, that's the greatest thing I can do for the world. I loved because I used to be such a I gotta help the whole world change, and I gotta help everyone fix their lives, right? Fix their lives to be what the highest it could be, and blah 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 blah. And but when you realize that you can't, especially being a manager and supervising people for decades, you realize people don't want to do what they're told to do. They want to do what they want to do. No matter how much you push someone, they're going to do what they want to do anyway. And then Spirit was like, every moment we're putting out energy into the collective and we're influencing the entire experience of us on the planet. And the best thing that I can do for all of humanity is to raise my own vibration, to do my own work, because it's like they're showing me like a giant billboard on Broadway with all these little light bulbs. And if I'm making sure everyone else is lit and I'm not taking care of myself, I'll be the light bulb that's not lit up among them all. They're gonna do their own, but I need to, fill myself up first and do what I want first, to help raise my own vibration, to have my own experience, then it overflows out to the world. It'll do whatever. Or like Christmas lights, they're saying how if you ever have, I think they do them differently now, but in the olden days, the Christmas lights, if one of the bulbs was out, none of them worked. If one of them worked, then they all did. Or they worked up to where the one was done, and then the rest of them wouldn't because it wasn't completing the circuit. As soon as you replaced it, the rest of them would light up too. So it's an interesting energy of bringing that back to me. All this energy, all this stuff I'm trying to fix or change or um, alter in the outside world, none of my business, right? I come back to here to focus on me. So I like that. You also have, yeah, I figured that we were going to have the chariot, the power of choice energy, because that's what I was talking about all with all this. It's movement, it's a change of energy of if I don't like the story, because every moment is a choice of the story that I'm putting everything with my thoughts of either lower vibration rooted in fear or higher vibration rooted in joy and laughter and gratitude and unconditional love and play and peace, right? So I'm choosing the story. And if I don't like the story, it's like a TV. I can change the channel. Let me change my story. I don't like feeling, like these, and we're given a lot of stories growing up with the supposed to be's, the should be's, the need to be's, the have to be's, right? A story that when someone does this, this means that. So now this is the story I have to live by. I feel out of control of my life because I've been convinced that these stories are what I'm supposed to think about things, but those are just opinion, right? And I don't have to think that way. Emotions were taught when these things happen, this is how you're supposed to feel about them. We also feel out of control then, right? This is where you're supposed to invest your energy. These are the actions you're supposed to take. This is how you're supposed to react when this happens. But we learn that I can respond instead of react. That because when we're reacting to everything, then we feel we're afraid of the future a bit because um, we're like a puppet on a string. Whatever happens next is how I'm supposed to think, feel, and act. So I'm afraid of what comes next because if this happens, then I have to think this, feel this, go through this and this, and that's the out of control feeling, right? You're a Cancer, yeah. So Cancer energy with the Chariot card. So it's very much this power of choice and stepping into our power of I can respond to things the way I want to, and I don't have to react to things. So when I feel like, oh God, this means, I'm like, why? What am I afraid of? What story of fear is attached to that? And does that need to mean that? Can I find a gift in what's happening instead of a curse? So interesting. And then what's your last two? You got the Page of Wands and the Ten of Cups. Yeah. So we can focus our energy on joy, 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 joy. And that's not being a Pollyanna and pretending, smiling while I'm in a burning building. It's about I'm going to choose joy in as many moments as I can because one, then I'm experiencing joy. And as I focus my energy on joy, I get more joy that comes my way too. So a lot of great tidbits here, a lot of tools with all of this of awareness. And it all comes down to, which I'll be talking about in my first podcast, which is about it's the unexpected that really makes this life feel hard because we've been given so many long list of things that are supposed to happen and they don't, and then we feel unsettled and we don't know what's going on, right? So there's when we have expectations, that's when we have the unexpected. When I have no expectations, then I can have abundance and lovely surprises instead. Fun, huh? All right, let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here, too. We've got the lovely inner child oracle today. So, what else would they like you to know here? About these last 10 days, what can help? All right, this one. Yeah, run wild. See if you can see it. It's a butterfly horse. And it says, "Let your inner wild child run forth." So that's their their advice. Another piece of advice: just let your inner child run wild, and that is that joy and play energy. So I like this. It says, "There is a wild aspect to being a child, a sort of carefree naivety partnered with an intense connection to our senses. Children feel things more deeply and experience the world more through their bodies than through their minds. They have little care for how things are supposed to be." Can't make it up. They have little care for how things are supposed to be. While this is obviously not a place that we can continually reside in as adults, there is magic to be had in connecting with this mindset again. A playfulness exercise is one of the best ways to be wild is to be messy. Go barefoot in the mud, play outside in the rain, finger paint, splatter paint, or even body paint. Get a group of friends together and have a water balloon fight. Be the most unapologetically unproductive you can while doing something playful with your body. Find pleasure in this wild abandonment and let go of the notion that you're supposed to act a certain way as an adult. Your inner child will be delighted and thrilled to run wild with you again. Right? Exactly. A responsive journaling prompt: how does it feel to be messy? What does your adult self feel? What does your inner child feel? And is there anything stopping you from allowing yourself this pleasure? I like that. Play. Yeah. So that's what the answer is, right? Get out of our head and go play. Why are we being so serious? We can go play. So hopefully that helps, Culture Envy. I know it helped me. I'm glad. Good reminders. I'm always so blessed in what comes through in everyone's readings. It's always a good validation, reminders. So good for us all, right? All right. Well, I think that is everyone here. Make sure I didn't pass over anyone. Yeah. All right. All right, my dears. Well, I'm just going to shut down a little early tonight. So enjoy this beautiful eclipse energy. It had wonderful dreaming going on. So rest well. Um, Make sure you rest a little bit. And until I see you guys again, I'll be back tomorrow, of course, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Oh, wait. I also wanted to make sure everyone knew. Boop, boop, boom. Where did I put that? Oh, here it is. Where did I put it all? I do have a giveaway going on because of the introduction of my podcast. So if you comment on the intro video with something that you're grateful for, I'll hold a drawing on October 1st and give away at least one winner. It depends on how many people enter. I may pull more, but at least one winner for a personal recorded reading. Or you can even choose a hedge of peace and love. I'll talk about all that though, but you can enter for a chance of that. Also, I'm having some specials. So my personal recorded readings um, are a 15-minute for 777 and a 30-minute for 1515. That's all the way through the end of September, all the way through until the end of October too. So Halloween will be the end of it there. I'll probably do it on November 1st, All Saints Day. But so I want to make sure you guys knew that that was out there as well. All right. So be sure to check that out. So like I said, I'll be back tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. If I don't finish all the readings in the morning, I do come back in the afternoon to finish everything out. Last Sunday was the first Sunday that I finished it all in the morning session. They didn't have an afternoon session. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. But until then, remember every second of every day of your life, you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you guys too. So until I see you again, much love. Hang in there. Take care of yourselves. Rest well. And remember, have some fun. Because why are we being so serious? All right. I love you guys. Good night, Olivier. We'll see you guys when I see you.